In the workplace today, simply being good at what you do is not enough. Keeping your head down, doing a good job at work is not enough to get you noticed and promoted. On top of doing a good job at work, you also need people to know who you are, what you're working on, and what you have accomplished. I'm sure I don't have to tell you, but today the workplace is a lot more competitive. In order to get ahead, in order to get promoted, in order to advance in your career, you need to be a lot more visible to your coworkers and visible to your boss, and especially visible to hiring managers. Whether you're working in the office or whether you're working remotely, these 10 tips I'm going to share with you in this video will help you build your visibility in the workplace. Now, these tips are different to the tips I shared in last year's video on visibility, which I'll link to in the description below. So let's get straight into it. Number one, don't let others take credit for your work. Now, you might be friends with your coworkers, you might like them, and they might like you as well. But when somebody takes credit for your work, they are stealing from you a visibility opportunity. They give themselves credit for your work, rendering you invisible. You need to publicly claim credit for the work that you do. Because if you don't take credit for the work that you do, somebody else will. And they will get all the glory and all the recognition instead of you. So if you're in a meeting with someone and they are taking credit for the work that you do, and you are sitting there thinking, well, what should I say to this person? How do I go back and claim the credit for the work that I actually did? This is what you say to them. To clarify what Vanessa just said, we actually worked on this project together. Vanessa conducted the preliminary research and I compiled the research into the report that you're seeing right now. So this is something you can say if somebody is taking credit or not giving you credit for your work during a meeting. So in a public way, this is how you go back and you claim the credit for the work that you have done. And if later on you want to continue the conversation, and it's probably a good idea that you do, after the meeting, talk to that person privately, tell them what happened, tell them you don't appreciate them taking credit for the work that you have done. And that next time, you hope they would give you credit for the work that you have done. Number two is publicly congratulate your team. So if you are a leader in charge of a team, one way that you as the leader can gain more visibility is to publicly congratulate your team. Congratulate them on their successes and on their accomplishments. How this makes you visible as a leader is because you are associated with this. If your team has had a success, if your team has had a win, and you are the leader of that team, that win will be associated with you. So not only does it help you stand out as a great leader or as someone with fantastic leadership potential, it also helps your team feel more valued and appreciated. And this is a really, really important part of leadership. If your team doesn't feel valued, if they don't feel appreciated, then next time around, they might not give you their 100 or 110%. I think this is a really important shift, mental shift that many emerging leaders need to make. And it's definitely something that will help you as a leader grow your visibility and also strengthen the bond with your team. Number three, ask, how can I support my coworkers? One of the best ways to grow your visibility is to support other people or to support your co-workers. I think this is also an important shift that many emerging leaders need to make. Instead of thinking that in order for you to become more visible, you need to talk more about you, your achievements, what you have contributed to the team or to the company. Instead, make the shift and support your co-workers, support your colleagues. By supporting them, you really show that you're somebody who is motivated, you're a leader who cares about your team, who cares about the success of your team and also the company as a whole. You're not focused just on yourself and on your own success or your own career journey. You're focused on other people as well. And this will definitely help you get noticed. This will definitely help you stand out. And as a result, it will help you grow your visibility too. Number four, ask, how can I support my leader? So as well as supporting your coworkers, it's really important that you support your leader as well. In fact, this is probably the person you should make a point to support the most. So find out what are their priorities, what are their goals, what are they working towards, what is the direction they want to move the team in, and can you help your leader achieve those goals faster or more efficiently? If there is a way that you can help them do that, you will definitely stand out in front front of that person and in front of other leaders in the organization as well. You'll start to become known as the team member with initiative and the team member who cares about their co-workers and also the overall direction and goals the team is going into. Number 5, offer new ideas. Now, of course, supporting other people, your co-workers and your boss is really important, but it will only get you so far. In order to be more visible or become more visible, you need to offer new ideas, offer different ideas or different perspectives. A lot of emerging leaders hold back from sharing their ideas or new ideas or different perspectives during meetings, especially during meetings, mostly because they don't know if those ideas are good enough, they don't want to be criticized, or they're afraid people won't like them. Basically, they're afraid of rejection in some type of way. But if you don't offer up new ideas or your unique ideas during meetings, nobody's ever going to know what those ideas are. No one's ever going to know how intelligent or how competent or how creative you really are. So don't be afraid to offer new ideas. Number 6, go one step further. What I mean by go one step further is when you're asked to complete a task or complete an assignment, take it one step further. Do something extra they didn't ask you to do. Now, this is a strategy that Jack Welch, the ex-CEO of General Electric from 1981 to 2001, did throughout his career, and it really helped him, or he said it really helped him progress fast through his career. He called it getting out of the pile, and basically what he did is when his boss asked him questions, he would take it one step further and he would provide some kind of analysis or some kind of report to give his boss additional information or a fresh new perspective. He believed that this helped him get noticed and helped him differentiate himself from the pile or from the rest of the people he was working with. So this is a strategy that you can implement as well. Take things one step further, and this will definitely help you increase your visibility. Number 7, build your personal brand. Having a strong personal brand is something that will definitely help you stand out and definitely help you build your visibility in the workplace. When you build a personal brand, it helps people to know who you are, what you stand for, what your values are, what your accomplishments are as well, and also how you are different from your competitors who are your co-workers. Now, some of you watching might be against personal branding. You might think, well, it's so cliche. But as they say, if you don't build your personal brand, somebody else will. Basically, this means that if you don't work on building your personal brand and decide how you want others to see you, how you want others to perceive you, other people are just going to decide for themselves how they do perceive you. So if you don't build your personal brand, others will do it for you, and they will decide what your personal brand is going to be. Personal branding is something you can absolutely take control over. It's something you can define, and it's something you can create and grow. If you want to watch more videos on personal branding, I have a number on my channel. I will link to all of them in the description below. Number 8, volunteer for a task or opportunity. This ties in with going one step further, but basically when you volunteer for a task or an opportunity that's not in your normal job description, it makes you look like somebody with initiative and who is proactive. Your boss, your manager, other leaders in the organization, they will absolutely love this. If they hear about it, if they physically see you doing that, if they're involved in that task or the project, it will definitely help you to become a lot more visible in the office. I remember when I worked for a Japanese trading house in Australia, I was a trading assistant. That was my job. But the receptionist had left and there was no one to replace her at that time. So I took over the job of the receptionist as well. So I was doing my job as a trading assistant and the job of the receptionist. And this definitely won me points with my boss and with the manager. So for you, keep an eye out for other tasks that you can do, other projects that you can get involved with. And put your hand up, raise your hand, volunteer for extra tasks and extra jobs. Number 9, host a lunch and learn. Now this tip is especially powerful to get other people to know who you are, what you do, and what you're an expert at. The idea behind the Lunch and Learn is that you organize a lunch, you organize a seminar that is given over a lunch period in the office, and during that Lunch and Learn, you teach the other people in the room something about what you do. You invite your co-workers, you can invite your boss, you can even invite people in other departments or other senior leaders. It's basically an opportunity for you to shine, an opportunity for you to tell those those people, give them an insight into what you do and what you're an expert at. This is a very effective way to increase your visibility in front of the people who matter, in front of the people who could be in charge of your next promotion. And we're on the last tip now, where you cultivate a broad network. What I mean by this is a network inside and outside of your company. Now, nobody ever became visible on their own. Nobody ever became visible without knowing other people and without those people knowing who you are. In order to increase your visibility, you also need to grow your network. Have more people know who you are, what you do, what you're an expert at. And this includes people both inside and outside of your company. This is really the key and one of the networking strategies that leaders use, and it helps them grow their career and progress in their career a lot faster. To be visible, people have to know who you are, and the only way to achieve this is to network. So get out there and start networking. I'll put a link in the description below to the other video I mentioned about visibility and the other videos about personal branding as well, so you can check them out once you finish this video. If you are a loyal subscriber, thank you for coming back to my channel. If you're new to this channel and you're watching for the very first time, well, thank you for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed this video. Now, don't forget to hit the subscribe button below this video before you leave. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again next week.